My family tried to turn my success into their safety net. I finally stopped being the good son, and they never forgave me. I'm Nick, 34M. I live outside Charlotte, North Carolina, in a starter home I bought last spring, the kind with beige carpet you swear you'll replace soon, and a backyard that's mostly stubborn clay and hope. I'm engaged to Emily, 32F. She's a physical therapist, calm in a way that makes me feel like I've been living with my shoulders up around my ears for years without noticing. My family's the classic looks close in pictures crew. Mom, Janet 60, sweet voice, sharp memory, will cry while she's manipulating you, and somehow make you feel guilty for noticing. Her thing is she always wipes the kitchen counter in little circles while she talks, like she's trying to erase conflict by polishing it away. Dad, Ray 62, retired electrician, proud, stubborn. He wears the same faded Panthers cap, even though the brim is basically a slice of cardboard at this point. When he's angry, he jingles the change in his pocket like he's counting reasons you owe him. My brother, Tyler, 38, gone for 8 years, not moved away, busy life, gone. Gone, gone? Rehab, random jobs, bad relationships, stretches where nobody could get a response out of him except the occasional midnight "I'm fine" text that made everything worse. Growing up, we had traditions that made me think we were normal. Sunday dinner at my parents' place, my mom's pot roast, always a little too salty, my dad carving it like he was solving a math problem, me and Tyler fighting over the last Hawaiian roll. Thanksgiving, where my dad insisted on frying the turkey like he was in a competition, and my mom hovered with a fire extinguisher and a face that said, I married a man who thinks danger is seasoning. Even after Tyler disappeared, we kept the traditions. That's the thing people don't get. Families don't stop being families when someone goes off the rails. They just rearrange the seating chart around the absence. Tyler became the ghost we didn't talk about until we did, and then it was always in the same way. He's trying. He's had it hard. He just needs support. And I became the good one, the steady one, the one who didn't cause trouble. I paid my bills, worked my way up from warehouse to operations, then eventually started my own small logistics company. Nothing flashy, but it finally did well enough that Emily and I could breathe. My parents started treating my success like a family asset, like it wasn't my stability, and it was a tool they could reach for when things got scary. I didn't see the danger in that until Tyler came back. Tyler showed up again in the most Tyler way possible. No warning, no apology, just a sudden presence like a storm front. It started with that text. Tyler, you still got that house key, right? I didn't reply for a full hour. I was sitting in my truck outside a job site, staring at the screen, feeling my heartbeat in my throat. Finally, I typed, why? He replied, need to grab some stuff from mom and dad's. Don't want it to be a whole thing. I wrote, use their key. He said, they changed the locks. LL. Lol. Like it was a funny anecdote and not the biggest red flag in the world. 2 days later, my mom called me and tried to sound casual. Baby, she said, and I could hear her wiping the counter in circles because she always does it when she's nervous. Tyler's back. He's trying to do better. I said, where is he staying? A pause, a little too long. With us, just for a little bit. I felt my stomach tighten. Mom, I know, she rushed, but he's different. He's sober. He's humble. Humble is not a word anyone has ever used for Tyler. Then she hit me with the real reason for the call. We're so proud of you, she said. You've built such a good life, and we need your help with something. There it was. The pivot. Pride as a lead-in to a request. What kind of help? I asked. It's nothing crazy, she said quickly. Just a signature. It'll make things easier. I asked, a signature for what? She hesitated again, then softly, like she was offering a favor. We want you to add Tyler to your business, just on paper, so he can get back on his feet. I actually laughed once because it was so absurd my brain didn't know what else to do. Add him to my business? It's just temporary, she insisted. He needs to show stability for housing, for a job, and you're his brother. I said, Mom, my business is how Emily and I pay our mortgage. I'm not saying give him money, she said, voice tightening. Just share. It's family. Then my dad got on the phone. No hello, just straight into it. Don't make this complicated, Nick, Dad said. You're doing good. Your brother needs a chance. I said, he had 8 years of chances. Dad's voice went cold. And then he said the sentence that cracked something in me. You can afford to be generous. We can't afford for him to fail again. Like my money existed to keep them from feeling scared. That was the start. Not the yelling later, not the betrayal that came after. That sentence, you can afford it, because it reduced my life to a cushion for their anxiety. A week after Tyler moved in with them, my mom created a new group chat. Not the old family one. A brand new one like she thought fresh pixels could reset the past. Family Reset. That was the name. Like we were an iPhone. It was Mom, Dad, me, Tyler, and Emily, which already made my skin crawl. Emily hadn't even met Tyler yet. Mom sent the first message. Mom, so happy we're all together again. Let's be kind. Tyler replied, Tyler, love y'all. New chapter. Then immediately, Tyler, Nick, can you send me your EIN info? Need it for an application. Emily looked at me over her dinner plate like, are you serious? I typed, no, we're not doing this over text. Tyler hit me with, bro, don't be weird. Dad chimed in, just help him. Stop acting like a lawyer. That phrase, acting like a lawyer, is how my family labels boundaries. Like wanting clarity is a personality defect. The passive-aggressive stuff started fast. At Sunday dinner, Tyler sat in my dad's chair like he'd never left. He ate like he was starving and talked with his mouth full. My mom kept refilling his plate like she was trying to plug a leak with mashed potatoes. Dad said things like, Tyler's really trying, and looked at me like I was supposed to clap. Tyler made little comments about my house. You got the HOA-type neighborhood, he said, smirking. Bet they don't let you park a work truck. I said, they don't. It's annoying. He laughed and said, must be nice to have annoying problems. And my mom, instead of shutting it down, added gently, well, you've worked hard, Nick. It sounded supportive. It also sounded like, so you can share. A few days later, Tyler called me at 11:47 p.m. I know the exact time because I was brushing my teeth and it made the moment feel even more stupid and surreal. Bro, he said, slurring just slightly. Not fully drunk, but not sober. I need a favor. I said, what kind of favor? A small one, he insisted. I found a place, but they need proof of income. I can't start a job until I have a place. Catch 22. So if you put me on payroll just for a month, I cut him off. Absolutely not. He got quiet. Then he said, you always were the one who thinks he's better. I'm not risking my company because you need a shortcut, I said. He laughed, bitter. You don't get it. Mom and Dad are going to lose the house if I don't get stable. My stomach dropped. What do you mean lose the house? He paused, then said too casually, they got a second mortgage to help me. A while back, I felt heat rise in my chest. They told me it was for repairs. Tyler said, yeah, repairs. To their bank account. I hung up on him. The next morning I called my mom. She answered cheerful, like she didn't know my whole world had shifted. Mom, I said, did you take a second mortgage for Tyler? Silence. Then small. We didn't want to worry you. You lied, I said. We were trying to help your brother, she whispered. And now you want me to put him on my business so he can, what? Drag me down too? She started crying. She always does that when cornered. It's like her body has a button. Nick, she sobbed, please don't punish us for trying to save him. That's when the sides formed. Dad called me later, furious. You're making your mother cry, he snapped. You're acting selfish. I said, I'm acting careful. He said, same thing. Then the group chat lit up. Dad, your mom doesn't deserve this stress. Tyler, Nick thinks he's too good for his own blood. Mom, please stop fighting. Emily finally texted in the group. One simple message. Emily, Nick's business isn't a family resource. Please stop asking him to risk it. Tyler replied, Tyler, who asked you? And that's when I knew it was going to get uglier. Because when someone like Tyler feels blocked, he doesn't stop. He goes around. 2 days later, I got an email from my bank. Your address has been updated. I hadn't updated anything. My hands went cold. I logged in and saw the new address, my parents' house. Then I saw a new debit card request. My stomach flipped like it was trying to escape my body. I called the bank, changed passwords, froze everything, and sat in my driveway shaking. My chest felt tight like someone was standing on it. I couldn't take a full breath. I drove to my parents' house without telling them. My hands were trembling on the steering wheel the whole time. Tyler's car was there. I walked in and my mom looked startled, like she'd been caught doing something small, like hiding candy, not facilitating fraud. Nick, she said quickly, what are you doing here? I held up my phone. Why is my bank address your house? My mom's face went pale. Dad came in from the living room. What now? I said. Someone tried to reroute my debit card. Tyler appeared behind them, leaning in the hallway like he owned it. He smiled, slow. Relax, he said. I was just helping Mom set up autopay. She asked me. My mom flinched. That tiny flinch was the secondary reveal, the silent confession. I looked at her. Did you give him my info? She whispered. He said you wouldn't mind. He said you always help. That line, he said you wouldn't mind, made my vision blur with anger. I said, you let him into my finances. Dad barked, don't accuse your mother. Tyler stepped forward, voice slick. Bro, you have money. I'm not stealing. I'm borrowing. I couldn't even hear my own thoughts. My hands were shaking so badly I clenched them into fists to hide it. Emily called me then. I answered and tried to sound normal, but my voice came out thin. I'm at my parents', I said. She went quiet, then asked, is Tyler there? Yeah. A pause. Nick, she said carefully, you need to change your locks. That sentence made something click, like a safety latch, because my parents had a key to my house for emergencies, and Tyler had been asking about keys. I drove home, heart pounding, and changed my locks that same afternoon. It felt dramatic. It also felt necessary, like putting on a seatbelt after you've already crashed once. That night, Tyler texted me privately. Tyler, so you changed your locks? Wow. Tyler, real cute. Tyler, you know what? Fine, I'll get what I need. Another way. I stared at that last line until my stomach hurt. I barely slept. I kept waking up to check the door. I kept imagining footsteps on my porch. I told myself I was being paranoid. Then my Ring camera proved I wasn't. At 3:12 a.m., motion alert, someone on my porch. I watched the clip with my heart in my throat. Tyler, hoodie up, face half hidden, trying my doorknob. Then, this is the small detail I can't stop thinking about. He looked straight at the camera for half a second, like he'd forgotten it existed, and then he smiled. Not nervous, not ashamed, smug. He left when the lock didn't give. I replayed it 5 times. My hands were shaking so hard I had to set my phone down on the counter. That smile was the moment the story stopped being family conflict and became, my brother will hurt me if it helps him. I didn't tell my parents about the Ring video right away. Partly because I couldn't believe it. Partly because I knew what would happen. My mom would cry. My dad would deny. Tyler would minimize. And partly, if I'm being honest, because I wanted leverage. That's where my morality gets messy. I felt ashamed that I was even considering revenge. I'm not a vindictive person by nature. I hate drama. I'm the guy who apologizes when someone else bumps into me at Target. But I was also furious in this clean, hot way that made it hard to think. I'd sit at my desk and suddenly feel my chest tighten like a band was around it. My hands would tremble when I tried to type. I'd get nauseous randomly, like my body was rejecting the whole situation, and the thoughts kept fighting each other. Maybe I'm overreacting. But why am I shaking in my own kitchen? He's my brother. He tried my door at 3:12 a.m. My mom didn't mean harm. My mom handed him the keys to my life. Emily kept saying, "Nick, you don't have to keep absorbing this." Absorbing. That word hit me, because that's what I've done my whole life. Absorb their chaos, their fear, their guilt. I realized something ugly. My family's version of love is often just access. Access to my time, my money, my stability, my forgiveness. And when I tried to limit access, they acted like I'd become cruel. I started therapy 2 weeks later because I couldn't concentrate, couldn't sleep, and because I caught myself fantasizing about blowing up the entire family in one group chat message. My therapist asked me, "What happens in your family when you say no?" I laughed once, but it came out more like a cough. "They treat it like betrayal," I said. She nodded slowly. "So your no is always punished." That made me want to cry in the most embarrassing way. Quiet, adult crying you do when you realize something has been true your whole life. My parents invited us to Sunday dinner like nothing happened. "Come over," Mom said in the group chat. "Let's have peace. Let's be normal." Normal. Like Tyler hadn't tried my door. I told Emily I didn't want to go. She said, "Then don't." But I went anyway, because a part of me wanted to see if they'd lie to my face, and a part of me wanted witnesses. That's the revenge part. Not violence, not movie revenge, just exposure. Dinner started tense. Tyler was there, acting cheerful, cracking jokes, calling my mom Ma like he hadn't been a threat 3 nights ago. Dad avoided my eyes. Mom overserved everyone like food could fix it. Halfway through, Tyler looked at me and said casually, "So when are you putting me on payroll?" Emily's fork froze. I said, "Never." Tyler's smile tightened. "Wow, still on your high horse." Dad snapped, "Enough." I said, "No, actually, not enough." My mom's eyes filled instantly. She knew something was coming. I pulled out my phone. My hands were shaking, but my voice came out steady, which surprised me. "I need everyone to see something." Dad's face reddened. "Nick, don't." Tyler leaned back, smirking. "What, you got a PowerPoint?" I opened the ring clip and held the phone out. I didn't toss it on the table dramatically. I just played it. The video showed Tyler on my porch at 3:12 a.m., trying the knob, looking at the camera, smiling. The kitchen went quiet in that way that isn't fully quiet, just the hum of the fridge and my mom's breathing, turning into little broken sounds. Dad stared at the screen like it was fake. Mom whispered, "Tyler." Tyler scoffed like the video was annoying. "I was checking on you." I laughed once. Sharp. "Checking on me by trying my locked door?" He shrugged. "You changed the locks. I wanted to talk." "At 3 a.m., Emily said, flat. Tyler's eyes flicked to her, irritated. "This is between brothers." Dad finally spoke, voice hard. "Tyler, tell me that's not what it looks like." Tyler snapped, "Oh my God, you people are insane. I wasn't stealing." Mom started crying openly, wiping her cheeks fast like she was embarrassed of the tears. I could have stopped there. I should have stopped there, but I didn't, because Tyler had already crossed the line into my bank account. So, I said it. "I froze my credit," I said. "I changed my passwords. And if my bank confirms you tried to redirect my card again, I'm filing a police report." My dad stood up so fast his chair scraped. "You would call the cops on your brother?" Tyler's face went ugly. "You snitching now?" Mom choked out, "Nick, please don't do that." And then my dad hit me with the sentence I'll probably hear in my head forever. "If you do this, you're not welcome here anymore." Like my safety was negotiable, but their comfort wasn't. I felt something inside me go cold and clean, like a final decision ceiling. Okay, I said, and here's where the revenge became real, because I followed through. The next morning, I filed a report, not because I wanted Tyler in jail, because I needed a paper trail. I needed boundaries that weren't just words my family could guilt me out of. Tyler blew up my phone. My mom left voicemails sobbing. My dad texted in all caps. I blocked Tyler. Then I blocked my dad. Then, after an hour of staring at my mom's name and feeling like I might throw up, I blocked her too. That was the cost. Not the paperwork. Not the police report. The cost was the silence. It's been a little over 5 weeks. My credit is fine. The bank confirmed an attempt was made to change the mailing address again, which supported my report. Tyler hasn't been charged with anything major yet, but the warning and the documentation did what I needed it to do. It made my no real. I haven't been to Sunday dinner. I haven't gotten my mom's random "saw this and thought of you" texts. The family group chat is dead except for one message my mom sent that still makes my throat tighten. Mom, I hope you're happy. You broke us. I didn't reply. Daily life is calmer, but the calm feels strange. Like living in a house after you've moved all the furniture out, and you can still see the outlines on the carpet. Emily and I are still engaged. We're okay. But there's a heaviness I didn't expect. Like part of me is grieving something I can't explain without sounding dramatic. Sometimes I miss stupid things. The smell of my mom's pot roast, my dad's loud laugh at his own jokes, even Tyler's annoying habit of stealing the last roll. Then I remember Tyler smiling at my camera at 3:12 a.m. And I remember my dad threatening to cut me off because I wanted basic safety. The quiet gut punch realization is this. I thought my family loved me because I was good, but I think they loved me most because I was useful. Because the second my stability became something they could pull from, they treated it like it belonged to them. And when I protected it, they treated me like the traitor. The revenge exposing Tyler, filing the report, worked. It stopped the immediate threat, but it also stripped away the illusion I'd been living inside, that if I just stayed patient and responsible, I'd eventually be treated fairly. Now I know fairness was never part of the deal. My role was. So, yeah. Sometimes I sit in my quiet house on a Sunday afternoon and the silence feels like freedom. Other times it feels like standing outside a home you grew up in, realizing the lock was never on the door. Did I take it too far?